Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take your pile of sources and really try to unearth the most fascinating insights.
That's the goal.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into something a bit different. We've got excerpts from a novel called Iceberg.
Yeah, it's definitely narrative-driven.
Absolutely. But don't let the novel part fool you. This story is packed with, well, almost unbelievable details, twisty plots, characters you won't forget.
For sure.
Our mission, like always, is to wade through it all and pull out the key stuff for you. You're going to find high-stakes intrigue, incredible, well, resourcefulness, and a conspiracy that spans continents.
It really does.
So what kind of ride are we in for today? What makes this one stand out?
Well, like you said, it's not your usual research doc. The source jumps us right into the action. We're in the Arctic, a routine patrol flight happens, and bam, they find something.
Something big.
Huge. And it just spirals from there. Deception, murder, secrets about high-tech gear. It challenges everything the characters thought they knew. It's a great example of how one thing can just unravel this massive hidden plot.
Okay, let's unpack that.
Oh.
So picture this. We're way out over the cold Atlantic. Lieutenant Sam Neth, Ensign James Rapp. They're in a big 4-engine Boeing patrol plane.
Standard stuff, right? Ice patrol.
Exactly. They're supposed to check out this iceberg. Death even has this pretty blunt description for it, basically saying it's completely bare and unremarkable.
Nothing to see here.
But then the crew spots something. What was it?
Right near the waterline, on the west side, this dark shape, an object.
Okay.
And the weather's awful. But Ensign Rapp, he's clearly skilled, brings the plane down really low, like 100 feet above the water, just barely above stalling speed.
Wow, that's risky.
Super risky. They circle it 3 times, and through the drizzle and mist, they see it. A ghost ship embedded in the ice.
A ghost ship? Seriously?
Yeah. Just this blurred outline, though. Couldn't tell if it was the front or the back. Neff figures, hey, no way anyone survived that.
Makes sense.
So no immediate rescue. He decides they'll report it when they get back to Newfoundland. But, practically speaking, they drop a red dye marker on the iceberg, just so it's easy to spot later. Rapp even makes this dark comment about the iceberg being a temporary tombstone.
Grim, because it's going to melt, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Heading south into the Gulf Stream. Won't last long.
That's an incredibly eerie picture. A ship entombed in ice, just waiting to melt away. But things escalate quickly from there, don't they? This discovery triggers a meeting.
Oh, yeah. High stakes. They rendezvous with the Coast Guard cutter Catawba. Captain Koski's in command.
Okay.
But the weather's still terrible. 1 mile visibility, drizzle, strong winds. And yet, against all advice,
Someone's coming.
a civilian helicopter. On direct orders from HQ in Washington.
Yeah.
Risking everything to get aboard the cutter.
Civilian. Who are these VIPs?
Well, one was Dr. Bill Hunnewell. He's an oceanographer from UMA. That's the National Underwater and Marine Agency. Supposedly the world's top expert on ice.
And UMA. Okay, I know them. And the other.
Major Dirk Pitt. Also from UMA, he's the Special Projects Director.
Pitt. Right.
Captain Kosansky, the cutter commander, he's pretty skeptical about this whole dramatic entrance, understandably.
Yeah, I would be too.
But Pitt doesn't waste time. He just lays it out. This iceberg. It's holding something way more significant than just any old ship.
Which is?
He claims it's a Russian trawler, the Novgorod. And get this, it's supposedly packed with the absolute latest Soviet spy gear.
Whoa! Like listening equipment.
Electronic detection stuff, yeah. Plus, he says, codes and data for their entire surveillance program in the Western Hemisphere.
Okay, that's massive.
Huge. Pitt suggests the Russians deliberately kept the ship's loss quiet because of what was inside. Didn't want anyone finding it.
And Hunnewell, the ice expert, his role.
According to Pitt, Hunnewell's there to figure out the safest way to get into the ship through the ice. Pitt compares it to cutting a diamond. Very delicate.
A Russian spy ship full of secrets. Okay, the stakes just went way, way up. But wait, Pitt and Hunnewell, they're inhumane, sort of civilian, right? How do they end up spearheading this? Sounds like military intelligence work.
And that's the twist, isn't it? Because as Pitt learns, when you work for Admiral Sandecker, the big boss at NUMA, things are almost never what they seem.
Sandecker. Okay, so what was the real story? What was Pitt not being told?
This is where the layers of deception really start showing. Pitt figures it out pretty quick.
Right.
His boss, Admiral Sandecker, knew the whole time. It wasn't the Russian Novgorod.
It wasn't. Then what was it?
It was the Lax. Remember Christian Fiery, the wealthy industrialist? It was his private yacht, missing for over a year.
Fiery's yacht. But why pretend it was Russian?
Because the Lax wasn't just carrying Fiery. It had 8 top-level engineers and scientists from his company, Fiery Mining Limited. And crucially, a geological survey of the ocean floor, information that both the U.S. and Russia desperately wanted.
Ah, so Sandecker wanted that survey.
Exactly. Pitt realizes the whole Russian spy ship story, the urgency. It was all orchestrated, a fixed game, he calls it, just to get him and Hunnewell out to that specific iceberg.
Even that black jet they saw earlier.
He realizes that wasn't random either. Part of the whole elaborate setup.
Hold on. His own boss, Sandecker, set him up. Lied to him about a mission involving potentially hostile tech. That's intense.
It's a huge breach of trust. Pitt's basically realizing he's a pawn.
How does he even process that? And what do they find when they actually get onto the iceberg and presumably inside the lacks? You said the sources paint a grim picture.
Grim doesn't even cover it. It's horrifying.
Yeah.
First thing they notice when they land on the berg. That red dye marker the Coast Guard dropped.
Yeah.
Someone's carefully chipped it all away, cleaned it off the ice.
Meaning someone else was there after the plane, but before them, and didn't want the marker found.
Precisely. Deliberate cleanup. Then they find this covered hole, leads down into the ship. Inside, deliberate said. It's just a burned-out shell, a hulk.
Fire!
But not a normal fire. That's the chilling part. They find the bodies, crew, passengers, all 15 of them.
Oh, gosh.
They're charred so far beyond recognition. But here's the really disturbing thing. They're all found exactly where they should be. Radio operator in the radio room, engineers by the engines, passengers in their cabin.
Wait, so the fire didn't, like, toss them around. They died at their posts.
Exactly, which leads Pitt to this awful conclusion. This wasn't an accident, not a fire that broke out unexpectedly.
What then?
He says murder has been going on for much longer than that. He thinks someone poisoned all 15 of them first, killed them where they stood.
And then burned the bodies.
Methodically. With a flamethrower, he suspects. To destroy evidence, maybe. The motive, he figures, is simply game.
Game, like the geological survey.
Presumably. Then he believes there must have been a 16th man, someone not on the official manifest, an intruder who did this.
An intruder. And Fiery. Was his body there?
They eventually find Christian Fiery, hidden in a secret compartment. They identify him by his rings. He wore them on every finger except his thumbs and a missing toe.
Wow, okay. Poisoned, then burned. Meticulous. Brutal. This points to someone incredibly ruthless and organized. So the question becomes, who? Who is this 16th man? Who's behind this whole nightmare?
The trail leads pretty high up. The mastermind, the source reveals, is F. James Kelly.
Kelly. Who's he?
One of the richest men on the planet. Head of this shadowy organization called Hermit Limited.
Hermit Limited, what's their goal?
Kelly's stated aim is to achieve control and take possession of South and Central America.
Take possession, like own countries.
Control them, yeah. He actually believes his immense wealth can be used for the common good, his version of it anyway. He set up Hermit Limited a couple of years back using sophisticated computers to plan it all.
For the common good, by murdering people on a yacht.
It's a chilling look at how extreme wealth and a twisted ideology can rationalize almost anything. Kelly sees assassination as just a necessary part of the plan. He even compares his methods to, like, the historical assassins, the Ismailians.
That's terrifying. Does he have people doing the dirty work?
Oh, yes. His chief enforcer, the guy running his liquidation department.
Liquidation department?
Yeah.
Seriously?
It's none other than Oscar Rontheim.
Rontheim? Wait, wasn't he Christian Fiery's fiancé?
The very same. And Rontheim's got his own nasty reputation. His fishing fleets, notorious for just wiping out fishing grounds, using illegal dyed nets inside other countries' waters. His symbol, an albatross, apparently inspires as much fear as, well, the Nazi swastika, according to the text.
So Fiery's fiancé is the hitman for the guy who likely wanted Fiery's survey and had him killed. The plot just keeps getting sicker, and I assume more dangerous for Pitt.
Oh, immediately. The danger doesn't stay on the iceberg, not by a long shot. After they make the discovery, they get airlifted off. But on the helicopter ride.
What happens?
Dr. Hunnewell, the ice expert, he just dies right there in Pitt's arms.
Dies? How?
We find out later it looks like bullet wounds. But before Pitt can even process that, the helicopter crashes near the coast of Iceland.
Crashes. Pitt survives.
Barely. He has to fight his way through freezing water, almost drowns. Some local kids find him.
Thank goodness.
They take him and Hunnewell's body to a local doctor, Dr. Johnson. He treats Pitt's injuries, but he sees the bullet wounds on Hunnewell. By law, he has to report it to the police.
Standard procedure.
Except the police who show up.
Yeah.
They're not police, they're assassins, sent by Rontheim to silence Pitt.
No way. What does Pitt do?
He fights back, incredibly. With Dr. Johnson's help, they actually manage to subdue the imposters. It's pretty heroic.
Dr. Johnson helped fight them off?
Yeah, turns out he's quite something himself. He even tells Pitt something interesting, like his deep concern for life might actually be his weakness, his defeat. Kind of a philosophical moment amidst the chaos.
Wow. So Rondheim is actively trying to kill Pitt now. The attempts don't stop there, do they? How does Pitt stay alive and keep this investigation moving?
He's incredibly tough and lucky and smart. The source really emphasizes his resilience. Next, he runs into this guy, Jerome Lilly.
Who's he?
Turns out he's an NIA agent, National Intelligence Agency. He admits he's been tailing Pitt.
Tailing Pitt? Why?
Well, the NIA was actually tailing Hunnewell. They saw him as a possible lead to get to Hermit Limited, Kelly's organization.
Ah, okay, so the intelligence agencies were involved, just maybe not the way Sandecker implied.
Right. Lilly confirms some things, too, like the NIA knew the Lax was being watched by a U.S. sub, and he claims the fire on board was because of some volatile substance called Celtinium-279, which sounds fictional, part of the novel's tech.
Celtinium-279, got it.
Lilly also makes a confession. Remember those fake cops? There was a lookout on the beach who might have seen Pitt arrive. Lilly admits he knifed that lookout to protect Pitt's presence.
So the NIA agent is also playing rough. Okay. What's the next attempt on Pitt?
It happens at sea. Pitt manages to basically commandeer or swipe a boat called the Grimsey. Ironically, the boat Rondheim had apparently set up to follow Pitt.
He steals Rondheim's own spy boat. That's bold.
Totally. But while he's on it, in dense fog, they get attacked by a hydrofoil.
Hydrofoil, those are fast, right? And quiet.
Exactly. Super dangerous in fog. But Pitt, he gets on the radio with Admiral Sandecker back at NUMA.
Sandecker again, after the deception.
Yeah, complex relationship there. Anyway, with Sandecker's guidance, Pitt rigs up this homemade firebomb. Like a glass jar, gas cans, wicks. Pretty basic, but effective.
A Molotov cocktail, basically.
Sort of, yeah. He manages to use it to destroy the hydrofoil. He even calls it revenge for Hunnewell and the others on the Lax. It's a real turning point. Pitt's not just reacting anymore. He's fighting back just as ruthlessly.
Destroying a hydrofoil with a homemade bomb? That's serious escalation. And the situation in Iceland gets even worse, right? With injured people trapped.
Yeah, the weather's terrible. Helicopters are grounded because Kelly's people have sabotaged them all. No way to rescue the injured, who are stuck down in this ravine.
Including Pitt.
Pitt's injured too, yeah, cracked ribs. But he makes this incredibly grueling climb out of the ravine to get help.
What can he even do if all the helicopters are down?
While he's recovering, he learns something crucial. One of the injured people down there, a guy named Sam Kelly, turns out he's F. James Kelly's older brother.
The mastermind's brother. Is he involved?
No, he actually pleads with Pitt to stop James.
Yeah.
To stop his brother's insane plan.
Wow, okay. But how does that help with the rescue?
Well, Pitt gets this idea. It involves remembering this Air Force mechanic he met earlier, Sam Cashman. A moment of nostalgia, the text calls it.
A mechanic.
He contacts Sandecker again, and somehow they arrange for this ancient airplane, an old Ford trimotor called the Tin Goose, to be flown in.
A tin goose, like from the 1930s.
Pretty much a flying fossil, yeah.
Yeah.
And who's piloting it? Stephen Cashman, the mechanic Pitt remembered. It's their only shot at getting the injured out.
That's incredible. Resourcefulness born out of desperation.
Totally. And just to add this little human touch, Pitt even remembered he promised the Russian diplomat involved, Tamarestov, a bottle of vodka. So he brings it for him during the rescue.
Ah, amidst all the chaos, that's quite a detail. Okay, so they managed the impossible rescue in Iceland. But the main plot, Kelly's big plan, is still ticking. Where does the trail lead Pitt next?
You are not going to believe this. The final showdown, the center of Kelly's conspiracy, it leads to Disneyland in California.
Disneyland. Seriously, the Disneyland.
Yep. Kelly and his rich conspirators, Rondheim included, they've all gathered there.
Why Disneyland? What's the plan?
It turns out Kelly's grand diversion, the event meant to kick off his takeover of South and Central America. It's assassination.
Assassination in Disneyland. Who are the targets?
2 visiting heads of state, leaders named Castile and Decroix. Kelly plans to have him killed right there in the park.
That's audacious. And that black jet again.
Remember the jet. It wasn't just attacking Pitt. It was apparently doing double duty. It delivered these miniature models of government buildings in the Dominican Republic and French Guiana, the target countries for the takeover. And it served as an attack plane. Multi-purpose evil jet.
Okay, this is getting surreal. Global conspiracy, assassinations, all converging on the happiest place on Earth. What about Rondheim And Kirsty Fiery, the twin sister, we haven't heard much about her role.
Right, well, the NIA, led by this guy Dean Kipman, digs up Ronheim's past. Turns out Oscar Ronheim isn't his real name. He's actually Carzo Butera, some old figure from the Brooklyn waterfront underworld, a career criminal.
Butera, okay. And Kirsty Fiery, she seemed like a victim, maybe.
See, that's the final, maybe most shocking twist. Pitt confronts her, and she confesses. She wasn't innocent at all. She orchestrated her own twin brother Christian's disappearance.
She did? Why?
She had him declared lost overboard after some supposed operation she had in Mexico. It was all a lie. Why? To get full control of this valuable undersea probe technology they had developed together.
So she wanted her brother out of the way for money and power.
Pretty much. And the lax. She had it facelifted in Greenland, disguised to look like a trawler as part of the cover story.
Unbelievable. What about Hunnewell? How did he fit into her plan?
Kelly brought Hunnewell in initially just to fix a technical problem with the probe, since Hunnewell co-invented it. But Hunnewell stumbled onto the truth. He found Ronheim's crew holding Kirsty's own scientists prisoner on the lax, and he learned about other murders they'd committed.
So Hunnewell knew too much.
Way too much. In a desperate move, Hunnewell tried to protect the real Christian Fiery, who apparently wasn't dead after all, by falsely identifying one of the burned bodies on the lax as Kirsty's.
To throw them off.
Exactly. But it backfired. Kelly found out Hunnewell knew the truth, and he ordered Ronheim to silence him permanently, which led to Hunnewell being shot before the helicopter crash.
Wow. So Kirsty wasn't just complicit, she was a prime mover in the initial plot against her brother. The betrayals just keep piling up. So how does it all end? The Disneyland assassination plot.
It culminates inside the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, seriously.
You're kidding.
Nope. Pitt goes undercover. In a wolf costume, apparently, along with Kipman from the NIA and the park's security chief.
A wolf costume. Okay.
They sneak into the ride. They spot the targets, Castile and DeCroix, in one of the boats. And right behind them, another boat filled with Ronheim's assassins dressed as pirates.
Real pirates among the fake ones.
Exactly. A huge fight breaks out. Hand-to-hand combat in the ride boats. Pitt grabs a cutlass from one of the mannequins and fights Ronheim's men.
Using a prop weapon.
Seems so. He finally confronts Ronheim directly, calls him out by his real name, Butera, lists all his failures.
Does he kill him?
No. Pitt chooses something different. He breaks Ronheim's arm and leg, deliberately maims him, declaring that Ronheim will live with his failure and his pain, which Pitt considers worse than a quick death.
A different kind of justice. And Kelly, the mastermind.
Kelly and his partners are arrested. But the narrative is a bit cynical here. It suggests that actually convicting people that rich and powerful is tough. They'll probably just end up paying massive fines.
Huh. A somewhat realistic downer ending for the big fish. And how did Pitt know the pirates chasing the leaders were the real assassins?
Classic Pitt line. He says something like, "I could swear I saw the other guys blink."
Ha! Perfect.
So yeah, that's the whirlwind journey. From a frozen ship in the Arctic to, well, pirates in Disneyland. It's quite a ride, showing how deep these conspiracies can go, fictional or otherwise.
Absolutely.
It really drives home how things like wealth, power, and this sort of twisted ambition can warp everything, even supposedly noble goals. But also, you know, how one determined person, like Pitt, using smarts and grit, can actually throw a wrench into the most elaborate criminal plans.
Indeed. What really gets me is the level of planning. On both sides, really. Kelly's intricate plot, Sandecker's manipulations, Pitt's counter moves. It makes you think about all the unseen stuff happening beneath the surface in the real world, doesn't it?
For sure.
Like how tiny details, the dye marker, the missing toe, the blinking pirates, suddenly become huge clues in this massive puzzle.
Yeah.
And it also proves that even the most carefully laid plans, you know, they can completely fall apart because of one unexpected thing, one person who won't quit, or just a really good bluff.
And it makes you think hard about information, right? Who controls it, how it gets twisted, how easily appearances can fool you. Pitt keeps having to reassess what he thinks is true. We do too, reading it.
Definitely underscores the need for critical thinking, doesn't it? Even when things seem totally overwhelming or rigged.
Right.
Well, we hope this deep dive into Iceberg gave you all some food for thought about, well, information, determination, and maybe looking twice at things that seem simple. Next time you see a news headline, maybe you'll wonder what intricate layers might be hidden underneath. It really makes you ask yourself, though, how often is it the totally unexpected move, the wild card, that actually changes the whole game?